Okay. Everybody, we're back again here on Sports Chat.
Everyone's always right for an upset in the first round because those teams that they're playing are conference champions.
If somebody can afford to pay me $120 million, how much money you think they got?
Hey ho, everybody! Here we are back again live on Sports Chat. What's going on, Johnny? How's everything, man? How's everything?
Man, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Yes, it is. Do you realize? I was thinking about this. I don't know how many years it's been now, but today would have been the last day for a lot of conferences and schools, college-wise, because it was always the week before Thanksgiving that they ended. Yeah. Now you got one full. You got one. Everybody has one regular season game left, and then the conference tournament. But remember, back in the day, today would have been Ohio State, Michigan. Back in the day.
Yeah, man, that's
yeah.
I'm not looking forward to it next week, but we got an early Christmas gift though. We
we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, boy, we got an early Christmas gift.
All right, so we're back. We're here live. We're glad to be back on today. John, we'll go right to it. First, the top 2 rated quarterbacks. Mainly because Lewis reclassified to this year instead of 2025. But Michigan, and it's funny because I remember I texted you guys not too long ago. You, Mike, I think AJ, I was teasing y'all like, how Underwood getting out of your hands? And y'all was like, oh, NIL and all that. But NIL pops. I was like, well, Michigan should have a lot of NIL. And my brother, it looks apparently like they do. What's your comment?
We got him.
Underwood Bryce, Michigan-born fella. How you feeling?
Oh, listen. I'm feeling fantastic. It kind of eases the blow for what this season has become for Michigan football.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, we are playing. This is game 11. And we're playing for bowl eligibility and basically nothing else. But I will say that watching them this year and watching them to perform, defense has been solid, not spectacular, but solid. Especially with the absence of their all-world cornerback Will Johnson. And the when people talk about the offense it's not so much the offense as it's been the quarterback. We've been able to run the ball effectively. We've been able to run block. I think we're sitting at 5-5 right now with a halfway decent quarterback with a pulse.
With a
pulse. We're no less than 8-2 right now.
Okay.
I mean, I'm kind of glad. I'll be perfectly honest with you. The silver lining behind this season bottoming out the way it is that, especially at the quarterback position, our quarterback position this year has been embarrassingly bad. Let's just call it what it is. Hasn't been bad. It's just, because the old saying is if you got 3 quarterbacks and you don't have one, the fact that we were in week 7 and 8 and nobody had put down a hammerlock on that starting job, you're still figuring out quarterback position in 8 weeks into the season. That's ridiculous. That's horrible. Right. And so not only did we get a quarterback, we got the number 1 quarterback rated in all
the country.
All the country. And not just the number one quarterback, the number one
He was
player.
committed to go to. He did committed from what? Georgia?
From LSU.
LSU. Okay.
I mean,
that's huge. That's a big get.
And whether or not, and here's the thing, whether or not he actually pans out is really beside the point.
No, the point is that you're able to get him.
The fact that we were able to get him, and the fact that a school with the alumni base and the resources of the University of Michigan, if we start going full speed ahead with this NIL, watch out, college football, because there aren't many schools that can outstand us.
If they want to remain prominent, you almost have to do this.
I mean, it's pay to play. It is what it is. We can talk about it. We don't have. I mean, whether or not you like this current NIL system is beside the point. The point is, hey, this is where we at.
The thing too is, of course, it does. The NIL is fine. I have no problem with it. It doesn't really apply to everyone, but your nucleus, right? Your nucleus, your top 3, 4, 5 players, it applies to, and keeping them is the key nowadays, right? Keeping them with you, right?
Well,
because again, you're going to always have Michigan is always going to have the 4-star, the 3-star group, right? But to be able to get 2 or 3 5ers,
and listen, we've done amazing things with 4, 3, and 4-star players. You know, our two, the two, I would call them the 2 top defensive linemen in the country, in Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant. They were 3-stars coming out of high school,
right?
You know, Colston Loveland.
Yeah, you never know how they're going. You know, you never know how guys going. Some guys will get better, but
the top, many people consider the top tight end in the country, Colston Loveland. He was a 3-star coming out. So it's not like we've had huge issues with player development. Right. But I would be lying to say I wouldn't want to be able to get a Jeremiah Smith. Or you know what I'm saying? That because if we can do that with 3 and 4 stars, what can we do with guys? And the importance of a signing like this provide now, it's still like 12, 13 days to signing day, so nothing is official until
nothing's edging stone to the signing name on the paper.
Until the ink is on the paper.
And now though, with how it is, because of the transfer portal, like I said, sign your name on the paper and the body showing up in the building. Yeah.
But
they can change their mind.
Yeah, they can. But the importance of a player like this is that, number one, it gives you instant credibility, because not only was he the top quarterback, he was the top player. We have the number 1 rated player by all recruiting rankings. Right. And so he's bringing people with him, a couple of guys that were committed to LSU. And so this could really be the spark that we were hoping to get after that championship season. But I get it. Some people wanted to know what was going to happen with the NCAA and sanction, and I'm supposing what I understand is that they're supposed to be bringing their ruling down any day now, because it's been 90 days. And so, but that's the silver lining behind this season. I think when all of our alumni base and all of the people, when they saw how bad our quarterback situation was, they said, oh no, wait a minute. We can't let this happen again. This is correct. This is the University of Michigan.
I think it was a great, like I said, it was a great get for them, because they filled a major. You can't go forward without addressing that.
Yeah. Now we had a few quarterbacks. I don't know what that's going to mean for Jaden Davis, who was waiting in the wings, but I mean he'll probably hit the transfer.
Well,
but
show
that's
forth
just
improve, or he'll probably hit the portal.
that's
Somebody
the nature of the beast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
But if you have an opportunity to get a talent like this, you can't pass up on that. So
no, you can't.
I'm sure Jaden Davis, if he was to transfer, he'll land on his feet somewhere. But this is, from what all accounts are, this guy is a special talent. And so, I mean, and the fact that he was right in our backyard, his school is 20 minutes from Ann Arbor.
Yeah. Right.
Shouldn't have let him get away.
Shouldn't have never signed with LSU in the first place.
Shouldn't have never came to that in the first place.
Correct. So, that's what I'm saying.
But we got him. So if we can keep him, that'll be great.
All right. So did you watch the fight last Saturday or Friday rather?
Well, what little I could see because of Netflix and their
I guess there's a class action lawsuit against them.
I feel like joining that lawsuit. Seriously. But where do I
was your dad? Mine froze a couple of times, but my what's name is jacked up anyway though. Sometimes my Wi-Fi internet is jacked up sometime anyway. But yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, that had to be embarrassing.
Even watching sometime the Thursday night game, trying to watch the Thursday night game on Prime is always buffering more than I would like.
Yeah, but I hadn't seen anything that bad. And what they were totally. I don't know. They seemed like they were totally.
Was that one of their first times they were doing a live event?
Sporting event? I don't know. This is the first time I've ever watched.
Well, I mean, because they've made their name off of movies and stuff.
They look totally unprepared for that event, and I mean, aside from the fact that it wasn't a great fight to begin with,
well, I mean, I kind of expected that from day one. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know what people expected of Mike Tyson. It's like, y'all, he's 58, y'all. He ain't
correct. Yeah, he not 20.
This guy took it. I think the guy took it easy on him. It's just like I
think too. A number of things. I think because it, a lot of Jake Paul stuff is staged anyway, but I think in the interim of, because remember, he does everything he does promotion. It's all Jake Paul production, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it was a show. It was a spectacle.
Correct.
It was.
But I mean, a good one, I tell you, because they had the people there.
Oh yeah, he brought the stars out.
He brought them out.
But I think people were interested to see. I think people were interested to see
if he can get that one shot on.
If he can get that, if he was gonna in any way resemble what Mike Tyson looked like.
Well, it's funny because social media and internet, they show quite a few clips of like Tyson training. Which was not, he wasn't even close to doing any of that.
Yeah, he looked like a beast when he was training.
Well, and so again, that's what I'm saying. In the staging of it, I think Jake might say, "Look, yo, both of them," because like you said, what's the name looked like he was pulling up too. He wasn't really going as hard as he does.
I mean, he could have hurt Mike. He could have really hurt Mike.
And then listen, anytime for us older people. Anytime we show up somewhere doing some type of physical activity and we show up with our knee brace, that's telling you how old we are.
I mean, did you see him coming out of his locker room?
Yeah, he tripped on the invisible line.
Yeah, he almost
I saw.
stumbled coming out the line. I'm like, bro.
Listen, that invisible line catches you.
I mean, I don't know I don't know what his net worth is, so maybe he needed another payday. I'm from what I understand,
yeah.
$20 million for this fight.
I'll step in for you gonna give me $10 million.
No, I heard he got 20.
Oh, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
Jake Paul got 40.
I'll step in for 10.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So maybe that was the motivation behind it. But I mean, you can't expect. Look, man, I'm 52. I can't do what I did when I was 22.
That's where you better let them 20. You better
Let
let
it
the
go.
young
And I feel pretty
let the young
good.
Wally do it.
I feel pretty good for my age, but I'm not fooling myself into thinking that I'm something.
You missing out on the tournament today in Nebraska.
Man,
they having a tournament out there today?
Basketball? I don't know.
I think they are. I think I saw it on the itinerary, which is cool.
Yeah, more power to them.
I would just have to probably coach now. There, I would be trying to get out there, but
I'll be in the stands with the popcorn, cheering whoever. Woo! Go, rah!
That's so funny. Go get him.
Nah, man. But yeah, Mike. I mean, again, great boxer, great memories.
Correct.
Bro, go get on a boat. Go
enjoy. Go watch a film or something.
Bro, the last thing I'll be thinking about doing at 58 years old and having had the career I had. Now, I don't, like I say, I've heard he had money problems, so maybe this was the motivation behind it. You know, somebody give me $20 million for 8 rounds of boxing. Hey, more power. You know, if your name if your name can still command that type of brand,
as your opening statement is, right? If somebody want to give me $100 million, how much
man? I mean, I'm not gonna argue with him and say I'm not gonna bargain you down, but you know, fool me once, shame on me. Fool however the statement goes.
Yeah, twice or something. Yeah.
I won't be. I'm sure this is his last hurrah, because I don't think anybody wants to see that again. And when you add, I mean, and when you add to the fact that Netflix had its issues, it was a bad night. I had to wind up going to one of my little sites to finish watching.
One of your.
And
we won't disclose.
We will not disclose. We won't disclose it on the show.
Just say that you had other options to.
I had other options to watch the fight. How's that? There we go. But even in those sites, it was hard to get on because I'm assuming so many people.
Yeah. And a lot of times it tells, because even the one that you told me about, it was the TV app one.
Yeah.
They even was saying about we got a
high volume. So many people was trying to access the fight, so it was just like. But I did manage it, and it wasn't nothing.
Yeah, you're right.
Didn't miss much.
I mean, when you had what? You had 70,000 there.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. So,
crazy.
I mean, hey, the jokes was on. I'm just glad it wasn't a pay-per-view fight. You know,
right?
I would have been if you shelling out $100 to see that.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a hard watch.
The laughs on the ones who actually had to pay whatever the ticket price was, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
That was a hard watch.
For sure. Absolutely. All right, well, your boy is speaking of old, your boy LeBron is balling out pretty good so far.
Listen.
At age 39.
Listen. I don't, you know me, and we've discussed the whole GOAT conversation. So I'm going to stand by the fact that, I think the most that you can say about any player is that they were the best of their era. But he is essentially playing in two eras of basketball now, and
kind of going on 3, ain't it?
Pretty much, yeah. He's literally played against fathers and sons in the league. He played against Gary Payton and Gary Payton Jr. You know what I'm saying? That's how long he's been in the league. And I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, well, it's just longevity stats, longevity." And
but it takes ability to have longevity.
Well, I'm saying I look at some of the players that have been in the league as long as he have. Dirk Nowitzki averaged 7 points a game in his 20th year.
Yeah.
Vince Carter.
Nobody
came close
in
to
year
this.
20.
Nobody's
nobody
come
in year
remotely.
20 was averaging 20, almost triple doubles this year.
Yeah, nobody. This ain't just longevity. He hasn't averaged less than 20 points a game since his rookie season.
Right.
He's averaged.
What's his streak now with the double figure points?
Oh, he came close to losing it the other night.
Well, but no, what happened was he had 9 and then he scored. He made 2 foul shots, gave him 11.
But it's just when let's look it's a purely subjective argument. People argue this GOAT conversation like it's provable fact. It's not. So people are allowed to have their opinion.
Well, I guess it's kind of what makes the world go around for us in our existence is opinion, right?
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to entertainment, opinion is always you, because what I might have thought was a great movie, you might have thought it was terrible.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't know. Which is why I don't know why people get so worked up about
it. Yeah.
You can't. It ain't none. People talk about it like it's fact. Like it's okay. You think somebody's the greatest, and you can compile whatever stats you want to support your argument, just like the other side can to support their argument. You ain't seen nobody come close to 20 years in the league doing what he's doing. Not even close. No. Including Jordan at 39. You know what I'm saying?
And again, the ability to adapt your game to where you are physically and still be productive like that.
And be productive. He ain't just taking up a roster spot.
Right.
He's being productive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely true.
So, I mean, I don't look. When it comes to Jordan, it always, for those who have him as their GOAT, there's nothing anybody else can do in order to sway them. They're like Trump supporters to me. It's just like, whatever, they're going to always move the goalposts. If he gets close in this area, they're just going to switch the argument. And, it's like I told somebody, I was having the same, I'm like, why is it okay? So if rings are not the defining thing, because obviously if you're going by rings, then how do you put it?
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then there's no argument you had to give to Bill Russell.
That's what I'm saying. So nobody, none of y'all, none of y'all, and I say y'all, the Jordan.
Yeah.
None of y'all started counting rings until LeBron.
Yeah.
Y'all, now you feel the need. We didn't count rings when it was Jordan, because they started calling Jordan the GOAT after his 3rd ring, after that 3-peat before he retired. They were calling him the GOAT then. Magic was still in the league with 5 rings. He hadn't surpassed Magic.
Right.
He was never required to surpass anybody in rings to be called the GOAT. So why not all of a sudden do somebody have to surpass him? The
thing I've always said too is the style. We're clamored, but well, you know what? The Bible says there's 3 things that's in the world, right? Lust of the eye, lust of the flesh, and the pride of life, right? And so LeBron has always been a tall, physical specimen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so his game, and he could run, jump out the gym too, but his style of play wasn't eye appealing as much as the way Jordan moves, because he's slender, and I think that plays a major role too.
Of course.
Because to even strengthen that point, Kobe Bryant comes along and merely mirrors everything Mike did, but it still didn't look the same.
No.
Right? And mirrored everything, matched them move by move, everything, every facet of the game, but it didn't look the same. Right?
Well, that's the reason why Jordan always felt more of an affinity and a closeness to Kobe than to LeBron, because imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And Kobe flatters Jordan because Kobe took everything that Jordan did on the court. The LeBron's game does not resemble Michael Jordan's in any way.
Yeah.
So he's not flattered by LeBron.
Except for maybe the fadeaway nowadays, the one leg fadeaway.
Well, I'm saying, I mean, but I'm saying his game is not in any way connected to Michael Jordan.
Right.
And I think that, coupled with the fact that people are offended that somebody else could be considered the GOAT instead of him.
And that's
that
crazy
just offends people.
Yeah.
So that's what fuels a lot of the hatred for LeBron, because it's like, man, you can't nobody else be called the GOAT but Jordan. So how dare you say you want to be the greatest of all time? And what's wrong with that?
You know what I mean?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it.
You should want to be the greatest if you're
and
trying
again,
to do something.
There's no way to prove it. Until you can put a time capsule and take 20-some years off of Jordan's life, and there's no way to prove. So I'm fine with you. I'm fine with your opinion as long as people acknowledge that it's an opinion. But when people talk about Michael Jordan,
as if it's
they
fact
talk
true.
as if it's fact, and that's the part that's
true.
It's like, okay,
but then, you know what?
Your opinion.
What would it be for us if we didn't have something to?
No, I mean, it's good for shows like this, and it's good for, but it ain't fact. It's not. Right. It's not. It's an opinion-based argument, and people get so worked up about it, and it's just like, okay.
And you know, and it's a thing too of who you are, where you are, who you play for, right?
Yeah. What your competition was.
Look, I'm just thinking about, okay, can you imagine if now the Giants just waived Daniel Jones, right? Mm-hmm. Could you imagine if the Cowboys did that to Dak Prescott? Woo.
Well, I keep hearing all of this Shedeur Sanders talk, and if he's available when Dallas picks, that they're going to pick him, which may bring Dion to the Cowboys, and so they may waive him. I don't know, but I mean, Dak has been order of magnitude better than Daniel Jones. I'm sorry, Daniel.
But what I'm saying is to just the coverage it would get. Right?
Oh man, from Dallas. Oh my God.
I mean, even compared to this is kind of going undercover as compared to even the coverage the Jets get, right? Because of Rodgers. So a lot of times it's who a person is or where they play,
absolutely,
who they play for.
Absolutely.
Depends on the publicity that he gets.
Well, that was my whole argument with the whole Bad Boys era and how they're viewed nationally.
Right, because they don't the Pistons don't get the credit for their championships.
Well, not only do they not get the credit, I think they get unfairly tarnished.
But only because of the image.
But that we talked about this before. That was a rough and tumble league, the entire league.
Right.
You watched that game when Robert Parrish took his fist and beat Bill Laimbeer to the ground. You saw it.
The sad part about it is the fact that they didn't break any rules.
No.
Right? They played within the confines of the rules,
which is why they changed the rules.
But you took on you embrace just because they embrace the image of it all. It's stuck. It's
stuck. It stuck for that reason, and it stuck. Again. I watched when Kurt Rambis got clotheslined.
Oh yeah,
Kevin McHale.
And nobody said nothing about it. Really,
nobody said a word. He didn't even get ejected that game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I watched when Karl Malone put 20-something stitches in Isaiah Thomas's head. It was a rough and tumble league. But back to your earlier point, it depends on who you are and who you play for.
Yeah.
The only reason the Pistons drew more attention for their style of play than any other team was because of who they were up against. They were playing Michael Jordan and the Bulls.
Yeah.
I tell people, anybody that wants to hear that, if they had eliminated Charles Barkley and the 76ers those 3 straight years, nobody would care.
Right.
It's only became as big of a story as it became because they were playing the Golden Boy,
and you know, and they help add fuel to the fire, though, because they talked about their Jordan rules, so it all worked in there together. It really did. But
you've never had, Herm. And I've never seen it in any level of sports. You've never had where such a concerted effort and a desperation for a league to promote one player. You change an entire set of rules to accommodate one player. And
again, though, it goes to as you call
they don't beat the Pistons without those rule changes. They don't. I
don't know. Because everybody has their time.
They don't.
Everybody has their time.
Go look at that 1991 series. Look at the foul disparity. The Pistons were whistled for 4 times as many fouls in that series as the Bulls were. They don't win that series without those.
Well, again, though, a lot of that is based on image too.
I think David Stern said, "All right, look, the Olympics is coming up. We are trying to take this game global. We need our biggest star on the biggest stage, which is the NBA Finals. And we're not about to let this little team from Detroit keep getting in his way." That's what that was.
Well, yeah, but I think even then already, Mike had all the commercials in that time period.
But it wasn't that was Mike. That wasn't the game.
Right, but what I'm saying,
they were trying to globalize the game.
By them embracing their golden nugget,
Yeah, but why do you think the Dream Team was so important? They wanted that team on a globe. They until then they had only allowed college players.
They needed it because we were losing with the college kids.
Yeah, we hadn't lost, and I mean because Jordan was on in 1984.
Yeah, 84.
He was.
I think it was 88. They got beat. I think Robinson and J.R. Reed and them lost. I think.
Yeah, but my point stands: if it was Reggie Miller and the Pacers, nobody would care 30 years later. It was because it was Jordan. That's what.
But again, you need those. You need those. That, and that's the thing too. When they talk about like your greatest quarterbacks and stuff, right? That's not really a thing of rings either, right? Because how could Bradshaw not be mentioned with your Montana stuff? I mean, he got 4 rings.
Right. It goes to it, but we only started doing that in order to keep Jordan here. That's when all of that stuff became important. Is to keep Jordan here. None of those rules applied to him when he was in the league. We didn't care that Magic had 5 and he only had 3. Jordan's the GOAT. We didn't care.
Yeah.
Nobody cared about that. So why is it so important now? Because you do that so you can keep Jordan.
And the thing
he's
is,
God to a lot of people.
One part of greatness is always winning, right? It don't have to be the championship, but LeBron was in the finals 9 years in a row.
Listen, but this is how backwards that argument is. Apparently, it's because I took issue with a statement that I think it was either Jalen Rose or Chauncey Billups. One of them, they said nobody ate on Jordan's watch, and I said, wait a minute, nobody ate on. I said Michael Jordan played 15 years in the NBA,
right,
and he won 6 championships. That means 9 out of the 15 years. What do you mean nobody ate on his watch? What are you talking about? He ain't go 15 for 15 in championship.
Correct.
He lost more than he won.
Yeah, before, I mean, he didn't, and you got to think, he came into the league, what, 84, 85?
Yeah, I think it's 84.
And he didn't win for
That's
6
what I'm
years.
saying. It's like y'all could talk about 6-0 as if he only played 6 years.
Right.
But he lost 9 out of the 15 years that he played. But because those losses came before the finals, somehow we get to pretend like those losses don't exist. So apparently it's better to lose before the finals than to lose in the finals.
I guess because nobody remembers who finished the second, they say.
Yeah, but I'm just saying but that's the mental pretzels people will twist themselves into in order to keep Jordan at the top. It's like, okay, so it's better to go out in the first round than to go out in the finals. Is that what y'all saying?
Yeah.
That's what y'all saying? He was good. LeBron was the fact that he was good enough and look at some of the teams that he drugged to the finals.
Well, yeah. Oh my God, you talking about LeBron?
That Golden State, he went up against Voltron. Them, you know what I'm saying?
Well, and again, like my thing is, my problem is nowadays everything is they glorify these guys too early and too soon without a compass of accomplishments, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
They come into okay. You take Wembanyama. He comes in with a name, and he's gonna be the greatest. And yet he's still wet behind the ear.
Yeah, he's good. I'm not gonna say he's not.
My problem is with it, even with like the Hall of Fame and stuff. I personally feel that the Hall of Fame, all of them, have too many people in there.
Well,
I think you should be in there for something you contributed that almost changed the game.
Well, 2 things about the Hall of Fame. I think with the NBA and with baseball, I think you have a tale of 2 extremes. I think it's too easy to get into the NFL, into the NBA Hall of Fame. And I think it's too hard to get into baseball.
Well, and even baseball.
I think baseball goes to an extremely other way.
Listen,
I think it's too hard.
Even them, as hard as it is for them, they still have some people who are in there that really shouldn't be.
Yeah, but I'm saying you be having a guy that'll make it on this 6th ballot, and I'm like, it's
yeah. Oh, there's a really to the extreme.
If you're a Hall of Fame, you're
they
6th ballot or 5th ballot.
The debate that's going on now was about should Eli Manning be a first ballot Hall of Famer? Not that he's not a Hall of Famer, but should it be a first ballot?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Very pedestrian career, and he had
correct.
2.
I mean, okay, 1, 2 Super Bowl. He was the MVP.
2 Super Bowls.
But truth be told, the 2 plays were basically luck.
Yeah, especially that Mario Manningham.
It wasn't really something that he created. He was closing his eye and getting rid of the ball.
But I always said that if his last name was Eli Smith instead of Eli Manning.
Yeah, pretty much.
Would he?
And he playing for the New York Giants.
Yeah, but we can't rule out. And you see it with the NBA with Bronny. Why is he back up from the G League? Like, you're not good. You're not. But I mean, I'm saying that I don't necessarily have, because we see the other persuade, they do that, they make all kinds
of nepotism. Listen. So, if I had a company,
if my son's gonna be the vice president.
My son gonna at least have a job if he wants it.
And I'm not mad. So I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
If but again, you got the leverage to pull that off, pull it off. I'm not mad at that.
It kind of takes away from the person who's worked and maybe worked hard enough to deserve it, but he don't get it because of that.
Not only that, I think LeBron, and I think it's out of pure selfishness he did this because he wanted to be the first father and son duo to play. So you're ruined. Instead of letting that boy go and develop and really get his game ready for the NBA, you rushed it for your own purpose because you wanted to get in there before you retire.
John, I would love to have been the fly on the wall just to hear the conversation about this.
Well, we know how whoever. You a man of above average intelligence. You know how that conversation went. He's got leverage, and he used.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? I can't blame him for that.
I'm not mad that you use your leverage, but I think you're ruining your son's potential career in the process. Yeah, he's clearly not ready.
Yeah,
he's clearly, and it's like, you know how if you see an apple tree and you see apples on it, but it's not ripe yet. Right. But if you pluck it off the tree,
you've been apple picking.
Yeah. Right. If you pluck that apple off the tree too early, now it'll never be right because it ain't like you can reattach.
No.
Now it'll never be ripe. It'll never be what it should have been. If you, but he didn't want that.
With that though, at least that apple that wasn't right is gonna at least turn into a donut or cider though.
Yeah, but it'll never be. It'll never be what it could have been.
It won't be the top choice by us.
If you would have let it get right.
Yeah, no doubt. Too early.
And I'm saying that with Bronny. Y'all picked him off the tree too early. Now he'll never be what he should have been.
Yeah.
And you have selfish reasons.
And being a coach, my sons were always they were more talented than a lot of the other kids that were on my team, but I didn't place that in their heads, right? Mm-hmm. You had to be in practice on time, show up for the game on time. And one time, Babe Ruth, game start at 6:00. I told everybody be there by no later than like 5:30, right? So we get the lineup and everything. Now I knew what my lineup was going to the game, but if a person show up late, you're gonna sit the bench until I start subbing. I don't care who you were.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Right.
And so one game, mind you, Trey didn't come home from school that day, so I know where he was at, number one. And now the game gonna start. He ain't come yet, and then he gonna come. So I'm already mad 'cause I know where he at. All right. Then he gonna come strutting across the street, with his cleats around his neck, shirt hanging out, like he was somebody.
Right.
And then everybody's around like, oh, is Trey coming? Like, I don't know, right? And I go, he'll get in when I start subbing in because he's late. That was the rule.
Yep. And it was important for you to show the other team.
Right. If anybody should be here 5:30, and you a captain. So you don't supersede the rule though because you're a captain. That's a privilege.
Absolutely.
And so, like you say, for him to edge somebody out who right now has more ability than he does. There.
I mean, that's a roster spot that it could have been given to a more productive player. Again, sure. I don't blame. Look, every corporation, every corporate executive, whatever. If you've got the leverage, go on and push your kids. I don't have a problem with that. Right. I just think from Bronny's standpoint, you're ruining what could have been a decent NBA career.
Yeah. And I would love to talk to Bronny himself though, because that's fine and well too. But then what's the attitude of the person who's in that spot? Yeah. You know what I mean?
I mean, he missed most of with the heart condition.
His college year. Yeah.
And he averaged 6 points a game.
Well, and again for him, first of all, he's blessed to be able to still be playing basketball. Period. Right. And so, like I said, he missed a lot of playing time because of what happened to him.
Yeah.
And
crucial
like you said, LeBron just took advantage of his longevity.
He had the leverage and he used
the leverage, right? Because let's face it, he still should be at USC or somewhere.
He should be at USC right now, playing getting ready, playing for this college football.
Whatever holiday tournament they're getting ready to go to, that's where he should be.
He should not be in the NBA right now. But Brian wanted him. Brian, hey, I only got a couple of years left.
He made it happen. Yeah.
I mean, and actually, the way Bron is playing now, I don't see him retiring after this year. He could have waited.
No, I think he's got at least one more year.
Yeah, he could have waited and brought Bronny up, let him get a.
But again, I guess
college basketball.
I guess in that case, though, that's kind of the great unknown, right? He doesn't know how he's going to produce.
But that's selfish, though. You're ruining your kids' chances of sticking in the NBA.
I guess if you're the GOAT, you can be selfish.
But I'm saying, once this kid's only 19.
Yeah.
Once LeBron has retired from the league, what incentive is there for any team to play his son or to keep him?
And even the one that he's on.
Yeah. It was okay. Now that LeBron is no longer, I have to deal with this.
If there's anybody that they should have kept, it was Scottie Pippen Jr.
Yeah, he's balling. He's balling. But those are players with real skill that I would be, people that get offended by somebody. Scottie Pippen was like, I got my father's name, but I had to earn my way here. I had to prove my way here.
Yeah, no doubt. But like you say, what counts is that leverage.
I don't blame a person for using the leverage that they have. What's the
old cliche? Is not what you know,
it's who you know.
Who you know. Yeah, that's what they say.
But I just don't think I think it's going to wind up harming Bronny in the end, because he's the one who has to try and stick into this league once your father is retired.
And even another point on this father level, when it comes to like Dion, with what he's done, coaching his boys up until this level, and then here's another case. Anybody else with the stats that Shedeur has, right? He has multiple games of 300 yards. Anybody else with those stats?
But at least with Shedeur, Dion can justify, because the guy's a productive quarterback.
Yes.
You can justify playing your son. You know what I'm saying? Because the boy can ball. We haven't seen that from Bronny. There is no justification for Bronny taking a roster spot on the Los Angeles Lakers.
Right.
There just isn't. Other than I had the leverage to use to force this organization to draft my son. And that's fine, but don't pretend like it's basketball related. It's not. I'm fine with you. Like I say, you use your leverage, but don't make it something that is
about what's going on.
Don't make it sound like
tell
he
the truth.
Earned his way. Tell the truth. Don't make it sound. Don't pretend that he earned his way onto this team. He didn't.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
I agree. Be true. Let's be truthful, people.
Be truthful. Just tell the truth about it. I used my leverage and I got them to draft my son. Hey, look, I'm fine with that. They do that all the time in business. They do it all the time. And you know who I'm talking about when I say they. They do it all the time.
It makes the world go round.
They use their leverage to get kids into schools that they don't deserve to be into. They do all of that. So I ain't coming at it from that standpoint.
And speaking of that, and I mean, this is not, not sport, but whatever happened with that case of, remember the Hollywood stars that were, didn't that kind of get shoved under the carpet?
Yeah, of course it did.
Yeah. So that goes and prove when you have the leverage.
You got the leverage, you use it. They put them kids ahead in those schools, ahead of people who actually earned their way, who actually had the grades and the competence to qualify. You got them Hollywood celebrities just pushing their kids into these Ivy League schools because they can. So this ain't no different than what LeBron did.
Because they can.
Because they can.
They had and nobody cries about that, right? It's a shame. It's been going on for centuries.
Yeah, I ain't y'all don't get to say nothing about it. Y'all don't get to say nothing. The way that y'all been doing this for centuries, since this country was founded. Yeah,
correct.
So stop. You can kill that noise. Kill it.
Did you see the post of? I thought it was hilarious post. I don't know, you the one put it up, I think, where they talk about the wall for immigrants. And they said the wall should have been built years ago
for them.
When they came over and took the land from the indigenous people.
Them people had the nerve. This one lady had the nerve, and she was arguing with a Native American lady. I probably thought she was Mexican or something.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, didn't know who she was.
Had the nerve to tell her to go back to her country, and it's like,
can you imagine?
What? And don't get me started on this, bro.
People do that because even there's a particular group of people that come over here and they're always talking about how great it is where they were from. So I feel like telling them, well, why don't you go back?
Yeah, don't, brother.
But you can't. There's just people just be honest. You came over here for the opportunities.
Sure.
Embrace whatever you can do and go on about it. You ain't got, go on about it.
No justification of that needed. That just be
right.
About it. That's what I'm saying with Bronny and the Lakers. Just be honest about it. Don't try to fool people into believing that boy earned a roster spot on the Los Angeles Lakers. Just don't. Just stop. If he was Bronny Smith or Bronny Wilson or Bronny
Wiley.
Yeah, would nobody look at him twice?
Right. No. And like I said, all of because a lot of time people with a lot of ability aren't even in the league and should be.
Of much greater ability than what you have with
that have proved themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So stop it. He's a privileged kid and and it's okay. He didn't ask to be born LeBron James Jr.
Correct. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? He's a privileged kid, and he's using his privilege. Okay.
My mom always said, no child asked to come here.
No, I sure didn't. Look, I wasn't knocking on the door of.
What knocking on the door? Let me out.
I
didn't ask to be Herman Thomas Jr. No, who gave me that name? Herman?
Not at all. So,
but I embraced it, right? So much so that I named my son her.
There you go. None of my kids asked to be here. None of them.
No, Jocelyn and Jasmine didn't ask to come.
Nope.
Janelle didn't ask to come.
So I get it. You do what you can for your kids. And if you LeBron James, heck yeah.
And being out as a parent, you want the best and you look out for them, sure.
Absolutely.
And if you can help them any way you can, but just be truthful about it.
Look, man, this world is too hard. It's hard to make it in this world. So you can provide that for your children, heck yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would do the same thing if I was LeBron James. But just don't pretend. That's all I'm saying. Don't pretend.
One of the analysts I had, her name is Tracy. She did the show one time. And I've been trying to get her to come back on, but she's talking about she's a one and done. I said, please. But she's like livid with this Bronny thing because she like that Q kid with that Q Quigley or whatever his name is that's on the Lakers that showed out in summer league and in preseason. She's like, well, he should have the spot. Bronny,
no question. Right. I agree.
Yeah,
but that's the same reason why how movies they'll hire a Beyonce to play the role of instead of getting one of those unknown but highly trained actors.
Yeah, actors, who's been to some theater school.
Yeah, been to theater school and done put but they're nobody knows. But when you're concerned about the box office,
when you get that name, matter of fact, I just seen an interview with Denzel Washington, and the girl was asking him about audition. He said, me? I haven't auditioned for a role in 40 years now, he said.
Denzel Washington. It's Denzel Washington. What?
Right. And so he was saying, once you get that name, people make a movie with you in mind.
But that's when you're thinking about tickets and box office and selling. So, but that pushes a lot of those young,
like I said, those hardworking them out. Maybe just pushes them out. Yeah.
I looked at Beyonce. Beyonce can't act. She's horrible. She doing on this screen.
She's done multiple movies. What you mean?
Right. She can't act. She's horrible. But because her name is Beyonce,
right,
that's gonna bring the crowd. And that's we've lost art form. And that's what the NBA, that's what so much of this stuff is. It's about selling tickets. It's about creating the circus for people to watch. It's about the show. It ain't about the art, the pure art form.
Well, and even if you ever, even the networks or whoever is covering the game, they a lot of times they'll just show you the bottom tier, of the fans, right?
Sure.
Where they don't show you the whole stadium that's maybe empty.
No. They want they
want that appearance of people. Yeah, no doubt.
But that's what it is. That's entertainment.
No, it's true. It's entertainment.
And you can't be blind about it. It's just it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at Indiana. Everybody's saying that Indiana, if they lose to Ohio State today, they may still have a shot to be in it. I said, no, they're not.
No. They'll be dropped
They can't wait to get rid of Indiana. They hope the committee is hoping that Indiana loses
today. Yeah.
Because they'll use any excuse to drop them out of that.
Right. And again, like you said, who you are, they'll throw even the fact that you'll be 10-1, right? But you still take a big hit.
Their only chance is to go undefeated and win
the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, and force the committee to look at them because
even what's the name still up there and they lost. They will drop Indiana for a 10-2 Alabama in a New York minute.
Yeah,
sure. And even a Penn State will beat them out because it's Penn State.
Notre Dame, a 2-loss Notre Dame.
Who lost to Northern Illinois.
Who lost at home to Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
They would still take a 10-2 Notre Dame over Indiana.
Yeah.
So let's not pretend. I'm all for things being what they are, but let's just not pretend that there's something that's something that it's not.
Right. All right. Well, that wraps it for this week here on Sports Chat. John, as always, we enjoyed you coming in. We'll find that other person some.
You will find him. We'll find him.
We'll find him. Where you at? He might be mad out there, probably fussing with some Trump people. I don't know.
Look, then by all means, go ahead, bro.
All right, man. Take it easy. We're out. See you next time here on Sports Chat.
All right, man.